I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.
Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez and the current factory seat holder are in Ducati's consideration to be next to Francesco Bagnaia for the 2025 season. MotoGP's silly season seems to hinge on this big decision, which Ducati seems to be taking soon. It is Martin, not Marquez, who has been chosen by Ducati, reports Gazzetta. In recent days, negotiations have accelerated considerably, writes the Italian newspaper ahead of this weekend's Italian MotoGP at Mugello. Any agreement between Ducati and Martin may be reached in the coming days, although it will not be immediately announced to the public. After a long series of analyses, meetings and discussions, Ducati is convinced that they will not let the Spaniard go, the newspaper writes. Ducati knows they cannot afford to lose Martin. And here's the full news. Ducati are rumored to have reserved a seat for Jorge Martin in their factory team for the 2025 MotoGP. This makes speculation about Marc Marquez's future even hotter. Ahead of the rolling of the 7th racing series of the 2024 Italian MotoGP, speculation about which rider will accompany Francesco Bagnaia at Ducati Lenovo next season is slowly unfolding. Recently, Italian media La Gazzetta dello Sport reported that Ducati has shown signs of choosing Jorge Martin as their factory team rider. In the first half of the season, Martin did look promising with 5 wins, 2 Grand Prix races and 3 sprints, and 2 other podium results. This fairly consistent achievement led the 2023 MotoGP runner-up to top the standings with 155 points. After a long series of analyses, meetings and comparisons, Ducati are convinced that they cannot let the Spaniard go, a Gazzetta.it reported. In recent days, negotiations have accelerated considerably, leading to an agreement at Mugello. Although Marquez is also from Spain, it is Martin who is being referred to as the rider from the land of Matador to be secured by Ducati. The competition for the Ducati Lenovo hot seat had previously been narrowed down to Martin and Marc Marquez, Gresini, who performed competitively with the old Ducati Desmosedici GP23 bike. In the last 2 races, Marquez has shown brilliant comeback actions, making his name also echoed as a candidate for Bagnaia's teammate. However, securing Martin under the red of Borgo Panigale seems far more important to the Italian manufacturer. Even though Marquez is now completely back and only needs a victory, Ducati knows that they cannot lose Martin, wrote Gazzetta.it. Meanwhile, the fate of Marc Marquez is now a question mark. Basically, Marquez wants a factory spec bike starting next season, no matter if it's the main team or satellite. Ducati's option to evacuate Marquez to Prima Pramac could have happened provided that Paolo Campanotti's team extended the cooperation contract with Ducati. Pramac was rumored to be defecting to the Yamaha satellite team. If Pramac finally survives, Marquez can form a new lineup with Fermin Aldeguer, a debutant racer who has secured a contract with Ducati. Meanwhile, Marquez's option to stay at Gresini is unlikely to happen because the team led by Nadia Padovani will not get a spec ration for the Ducati GP25 motorbike. On the other hand, Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez and the current factory seat holder are under consideration by Ducati to be next to Francesco Bagnaia for the 2025 season. The silly season of MotoGP seems to hinge on this big decision, which Ducati seems to be taking soon. It is Martin, not Marquez, who has been chosen by Ducati, reports Gazzetta. In recent days, negotiations have accelerated considerably, writes the Italian newspaper ahead of this weekend's Italian MotoGP at Mugello. Any agreement between Ducati and Martin may be reached in the coming days, although it will not be immediately announced to the public. After a long series of analyses, meetings and discussions, Ducati is convinced that they will not let the Spaniard go, the newspaper writes. Ducati knows they cannot afford to lose Martin. Ducati insisted that they would not confirm their 2025 rider at their home round, as previously rumored. Martin enters the 7th round of the 2024 MotoGP Championship as the leader of the standings, 39 points ahead of Pecco Bagnaia, the factory Ducati star and 2-time world champion. Marquez and Bastianini, who has yet to win a race this year, are chasing them. If Martin gets the nod, it will mark the end of the Spaniard's wait for a factory Ducati seat. Previously, he was rejected in 2022 when the Italian manufacturer preferred Bastianini. Then the following year, Martin missed out on the title at the final round in Valencia, and it was revealed that he would get automatic promotion to the factory team if he became world champion. After two previous failures, it appears that Martin will be riding the red Ducati bike for the 2025 season. In other information, this weekend's Italian Grand Prix at Mugello has always been the moment Ducati's management have been waiting for to determine the factory team lineup for 2025. But earlier this week, Ducati told Motorsport.com that it would not make an official announcement about its decision at Mugello. The race for the second seat of Ducati's factory team has become a rivalry between standings leader Martin and six-time MotoGP world champion Marc Marquez. Martinator missed out on a factory team seat in 2023 and was replaced by Enea Bastianini, having won 4 races for Gresini in 2022. The Spaniard did not get another promotion for this year after finishing as runner-up in the championship last season. The Spaniard, who currently rides for Pramac on Ducati's latest bike and leads the standings with 39 points, has always insisted that staying with the Italian team until 2025 depends on guaranteeing promotion. Marc Marquez's arrival at the Ducati stable has complicated the management's decision. The Gresini rider scored 3 Grand Prix podiums in just 6 races on the 2023 Spec des Mercedes. In addition, the marketing value Marquez brings to Ducati far exceeds Martin. However, Gazzetta dello Sport reports that the decision has been made and Martin will ride the red Ducati bike next year alongside two-time world champion Francesco Bagnaia. Aleix Espargaro's best friend is the most sought after in the market. With rumors of a relationship with KTM surfacing, that forced Ducati to ensure that they would not lose the Spaniard, who has so far arguably been their backbone for the 2024 season. The next phase would be to convince Marquez to race for Pramac on a factory bike, which in turn would encourage the satellite team to renew its contract with the Italian manufacturer and not switch to Yamaha machinery in 2025. The financial equation means that Ducati is unlikely to be able to provide large factory contracts for both of its riders. But at Pramac, Marquez will be able to retain his personal sponsorship that he might not get at the factory team.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that.